Yes. So last Sunday, last to last Sunday, we had that session from Narottam Prabhu. He explained us, since enthused us, inspired us to learn more shlokas by telling us how they will be beneficial for our personal growth, in our character, as well as in our our for us to become better devotees. And last Sunday, we went through some of the shlokas, some of the verses from Bhagavad Gita, and try to understand what is the how to interpret these shlokas, how to understand it correctly. How I was speaking with somebody, one Mataji from our group, and she said, I like Bhagavad Gita. Really like Bhagavad Gita, but I don't really find anything in it very useful for me for practical application. And I was I didn't I felt very sad, because Bhagavad Gita has so much practical application that anyone can ever think about. So it's everything is about practical application, and it's very sad it's that we are not able to help people understand this. And so this is where the true meaning of learning Bhagavad Gita comes up. It's not just about memorizing shlokas and chatting shlokas, speaking shlokas just like a tape recorder does. It's more than that. It's definitely critical, very important. They are all words spoken by Krishna. It's very important for us to remember. It's fantastic if we can remember them correctly, if we can pronounce them correctly. Sanskrit can it's very purifying experience, that if we can learn shlokas and chant them in pure in pure uh, in a correct manner, the correct manner. If we're able to pronounce Sanskrit verses, it's extremely purifying to the to ourselves. However, that is not all. That is not all what Bhagavad Gita is all about. Bhagavad Gita has much more to offer to us than just pronunciation. Pronunciation is one part of it, and it's extremely important. But also important is to understand meaning of it. Understand what really in nutshell Krishna is trying to tell Arjuna, and through Arjuna he is trying to tell me what is in it here for me. Ultimately, it's all should boil down to this one question, that what is in it for me? What am I going to get out of it if I learn this shloka? Why it is inspiring? Why it is important for me to learn this shloka? What am I going to get out of it? And if that answer, if you're not able to get more often than not, then we should really ask our senior devotees or any devotees who is guiding us really the meaning, that why it's happening. Why is it that I like Bhagavad Gita but I don't get anything out of it? Why? What am I lacking? Am I lacking anything, or is Bhagavad Gita lacking meaning? Is it meaningless? We may learn some Bollywood songs, some advertising jingles, very catchy tunes, very catchy wording, but even if we memorize it, even if we understand it completely, it does not benefit us much. We cannot get anything out of it. Is Bhagavad Gita on the same line? Is Bhagavad Gita is on the same line? Is it this is also some song doesn't really have practical application? uh, no, that's not what the understanding of Bhagavad Gita that we have all heard right from my childhood, right from my whatever memories I have had. We've heard about Bhagavad Gita. People speak about Bhagavad Gita with very high regards. Ki Bhagavad Gita has solution to all the problems of your life. Now, where is that solution? If I am not able to make any sense out of it at this age, when am I going to do it? When am I going to, if I'm if I don't make sense out of it, when am I going to make it? When I'm going to understand Bhagavad Gita, and when am I going to apply the teachings of that Bhagavad Gita into practical life? At what stage in my life am I going to do this? So today it should happen. It should be so there should be a sense of urgency in learning Bhagavad Gita in correct way, so that the meaning becomes clear and clear to us, and practical application become clear and clear to us. Everything spoken in Bhagavad Gita is practical. We just need to have eyes to see it, ears to hear it, and mind and buddhi to apply it. It's all there. It just our application is that is lacking. So we'll try to go through those Bhagavad Gita verses today. Some of the verses today, some more verses, and I intend to complete this document, the Word document, which I'm going to share, and send it to all of you. I have shared one version of it, which we discussed till last Sunday. It's a dynamic document. After last Sunday, we covered verses till 2.27. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu dhruvo janma mrutasya cha. Up till that verse we covered, and when I sat earlier this week to edit some of those key points, to look at relooked at I took a relook at I relooked at those some of those key points, and I found newer meanings in it. I was going through the first verse, for example, where Dhritarashtra Uvacha, Dhritarashtra is speaking, Mamakaha Pandavas Chaiva Kim Akurvanta Sanjaya. When he's saying Mamakaha Pandava, what is he doing? He is expressing, he's differentiating between his sons and Pandu's sons, but are they really our sons? So, as the Dhritarashtra as a character, uh, he is exhibiting a Dehatma Buddhi. What do you mean by Dehatma Buddhi? When we have Deha, when we consider Deha to be our own self, our own core, this is Deha. Deha, we consider Deha to be our self. And when we have Deha, in Deha we have Atma Buddhi, we consider Deha to be our own self. This is called Dehatma Buddhi. Then you consider everything connected with this body to be real and to be yours. So my children are born out of my bodily association with my wife, so they are mine. Pandu's children, whereas I have born differently, so they are not mine. So this is mine, this is not mine. But so this is Dehatma Buddhi, this is illusion. Nothing is ours. Um, all the souls, our true nature is spiritual souls, and as a soul, we all belong to Krishna. We The sons could be in my custody today. My daughters, my son, my wife, if they are dependent upon me, they are in my custody. I need to do everything to take care of them because this is Krishna's property, but they are not my property. The wealth I may have today, property may I have today, bank balance I may have today, education I may have today, everything I have received with Krishna's mercy. Everything belongs to Krishna. My intelligence belongs to Krishna, using which I would have got some degrees. I'm famous in my society. I've got some reputation to be well-learned person, a rich person, a well-spoken person, a good human being, or whatever my reputation today is all due to Krishna's mercy. So देह आत्म बुद्धि, देह में आत्म बुद्धि होना, ये देहात्म बुद्धि. So this is what I've added. This was not there last Sunday when we discussed this verse. So the point I'm making is learning Bhagavad Gita is a dynamic experience. It is not a static experience. I may learn something today. When I relook at that verse tomorrow, I may get more meaning. Just on a high level, how do we understand Bhagavad Gita? Different type of verses we went through this. We'll go through this very quickly, and then we go to 2.27 onwards. We will see some of the verses today. Bhagavad Gita has some of the verses give information and some of the verses give description. You would have, when you go through different verses of Bhagavad Gita, ask yourself this question: what this verse is trying to tell me? Some verses can be instructive verses; they give direct instruction, and some verse give instruction by contrast. If you do this, this will happen. But if you will do this, this will happen. Now use your intelligence and choose the right path. Choose the right path. So this is instruction by contrast by Arjuna. Krishna is showing two path, two actions, two outcomes. Two action, two outcome. Different action, different outcome. Now you should be intelligent enough to decide what to do. Now this is where instruction by contrast is given, superseding previous instruction. example we spoke discussed that hato va prapsasi swargyam jitva va bhokshase mahim tasmat uttishta kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhata, that uh, uh, tasmat uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya kritu nishchaya, that 2.37 Krishna is answering one of the question about enjoyment that Arjuna had asked, how will I enjoy. Now, while answering this, Krishna is saying that हतोवा प्राप्स्यसि स्वर्गम, अगर आपकी डेथ हो गई, you are fighting a war for a righteous reason. If you die while fighting this war, you will attain swarga, and there you will enjoy. And if you जीतवा भोक्ष्यसे महिम, अगर आप जीत गए तो you will relish, you will enjoy the kingdom of this whole world. Therefore, where is the question of loss? Where is the question of non enjoyment? Either way, you are enjoying, you are going to enjoy. So fight war. But this is not ultimate instruction. Immediately next verse, Krishna says, Sukha dukha same krutva labha labho jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yujasva naivam papamavapsasi. Now, in 38th verse also, he is asking Arjuna to fight, but for a different reason. In the 37th verse also, he is giving instruction to fight. Therefore, you fight, but that is from the enjoyment point of view. And here he is giving a higher instruction. Sukha dukha samekrutva. Treat sukha and dukha equal. Labha labho, jaya jayo. Labh, profit and gain, and jaya and this thing, parajay, or victory and loss. Treat all of them equally and fight for the sake of doing your duty as a kshatriya. So, and if you do this, then naimam papam avapsasi, then you will not incur sin. So, the higher instruction supersedes the previous instruction. But if somebody may consider previous instructions to be the supreme Brahma Vakya, supreme Vakya of Bhagavad Gita, he will be misled. He will have a wrong understanding, and he will not benefit out of it much. Yesterday we returned from Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, there is a Sarvodaya bookstall. There is a bookstall, a book counter on the railway platform. There's a bookstall called Sarvodaya bookstall, and there the Bhagavad Gita is the, again, something about Bhagavad Gita was written, how Bhagavad Gita is great, and in the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita is said that you perform karma yogi, you become a karma yogi, is the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. Now, this is a wrong conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. This is as good as saying that Hatova Prapsasi Swargam is the ultimate instruction given by Krishna. Because you've forgotten, or you're not able to appreciate, understand the subsequent verses where Krishna is not recommended Karma Yoga at all. Krishna has recommended Bhakti Yoga, and repeatedly recommended Bhakti Yoga to be the supreme yoga, supreme path to be followed. And as a matter of Bhakti, you will act, and then you will perform some Karma Yoga as well. But Karma Yoga is not supreme instruction. It's not supreme instruction. If anyone goes back home with this conclusion that Karma Yoga is supreme, he is he is not even leaking honey bottle from the outside. It's like leaking honey bottle from the outside. How much nectar you are going to get? It's going to be disastrous understanding, and you will not find Bhagavad Gita of much use. So if we are not able to make much sense out of Bhagavad Gita, we have to make sure our understanding is correct. Our understanding in parampara. If it is not, you will not make sense out of it. Brahma the Prabhupada writes in the Bhagavad Gita introduction itself that if you are envious of Krishna, if you are a competitor to Krishna, if you are not able to accept Krishna as supreme personality of Godhead, then for you Bhagavad Gita will continue to remain a big mystery. You will just hear about people saying, "Oh, it's great, it's great." You cannot understand it then. But if you become submissive to Krishna, if you become humble enough, if you become submissive enough to Krishna, and if you consider Krishna, accept Krishna as supreme personality of Godhead, at least theoretically, even if not wholeheartedly, at least theoretically, you should be able to accept Krishna as supreme personality of Godhead. And then, if you study Bhagavad Gita from that background, you will make sense out of Bhagavad Gita, and you will immensely benefit by studying Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, also some of the superseding verses we spoke about, literal meaning. Sometimes, some words which are used in Bhagavad Gita have literal, should be taken literally. And when sometimes these words can have alternate meaning to be used. There is one popular meaning. See, Bhagavad Gita was spoken 5,000 years back. Today, we have different words have different connotation in different societies. Okay, so cricket in our society has a meaning different than cricket used in America. Now, cricket in America is name of an insect. Cricket in America means an insect, but cricket, the moment if you speak the word cricket in public, they will think you are talking about recently going on IPL matches. So cricket in India has a different meaning. Now the same word in America can have different meaning. So we should, when we are trying to understand Bhagavad Gita, we should understand it from the speaker's point of view. Speaker and listener are in a particular time zone and in a particular setup, a social setup. And in that setup, in that time zone, certain words have certain meaning, carry certain meanings. And those are spoken and understood in that way. Shruti, we was discussing the other day, last week. One of the verse is Smriti Vibhrama. Smriti Vibhrama means in the 2.63rd verse it comes that Dhyayato Vishan Punsa Sangasteshu Pajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kamat Krodho Bijayate Krodhat Bhavati Sammohat Smriti Vibhrama. So Smriti Bhramshat Buddhinashat Pranashate. This is 63rd verse. Now Smriti Vibhrama, what does it mean? Its literal translation means you have lost your memory, loss of memory. Is this what Krishna mean? So the Shruti, Smriti and Shruti are two ways in which Vedic knowledge is received in past. So Shruti is by hearing, where Guru and Shishya, they hear. Guru speak and Shishya hear, and that's how the knowledge is passed on from one generation to another. Smriti, on the other hand, is like hearing, internalizing, memorizing, and reproducing. Hearing, internalizing, memorizing, and reproducing in some form or shape. Now, Smriti is what I have heard from. Now, Shruti is what Arjuna was hearing directly from Krishna when Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. This is Shruti. But Bhagavad Gita is Smriti also because Vyasdev wrote it down from his memory. Vyasdev, who was witness Mahabharat war, have heard it directly from Bhagavan, but he wrote it down at later stage. So, in one sense, Bhagavad Gita is a Smriti knowledge also. Smriti Vibhrama, the way it is used in this context, in this verse, is one forgets about the instructions of the Shastra. Because of the attachment to the sense object, one forget instructions from Shastra and then end up doing something which they should not have done. So this is Smriti Vibhrama. But if you go literally, we'll say loss of memory. So we may not make much sense out of it. We may think कि ये पता नहीं चल रहा है क्या है, how it is practically applicable. But with the moment we say that how we forget shastric instructions because shastra tell us what is right, what is wrong. When we forget those, what can happen? A disaster can happen. When we don't have right and wrong consciousness, then we can do anything. Our mind can make us do anything, any horrible thing, and it will create a justification for it because there's no right and wrong for you. Then because of the right and wrong conception, we create some moral code. We have some moral code, and we try to follow it. But if there is no such concept of right and wrong, whatever you think is right, whatever I think is right, then the whole society can can just get destroyed. So for example, for this, If there is no right and wrong, then even rape can be justified. Murder can be justified. Somebody is able to steal somebody's money, that gets justified, because everything, nothing is right and wrong. I'm think this is my right. This other person is weak, so I can do whatever I want with him, and it's not my problem that he's become weak. He should have become stronger than me. Then I would not have bothered him. So right and wrong conceptions help us function like a society, human society. Even though more more or less we function at animal level, but we still have some human codes, some moral codes with which we function, and they are not completely lost as of today. So that's why we should understand these instructions from the Shastra are extremely important. So with this, we will jump into Bhagavad Gita. This is where I've added uh, Dehatma Buddhi. No, this is what I've added just now. So this remains a dynamic document. It cannot be fixed document. More I think about Bhagavad Gita, more meanings I can myself derive. And so you can. You can take this. You may not agree with some of the meanings which I probably would have drawn for myself, but you can have your own meanings as long as they are in consistency with the overall message of Bhagavad Gita. You can have different insights, better insights into Bhagavad Gita verses than me, and then anybody else also. But we just need to make sure that um, we have this validated against the whether it is in consistency with the overall theme or not. That's what we should be worried about. So जातस्य हि ध्रुव मृत्यु ध्रुवो जन्म मृतस्य च तस्माद तस्माद अपरिहार्यार्थे नत्वम शोचितुम अर्हसि. Now the one who has taken birth, now this is where Krishna is very clearly speaking about punarjanma, or taking repeated birth in the. So are you able to see clearly? Should I zoom out more? Is this legible enough? Somebody can confirm.
Yes, Prabhuji, it is
Yes,
easy.
Prabhuji, it is
Yes,
visible.
Prabhuji. Yes.
Okay, okay, perfect. So, so one who has taken birth is sure to die, and one after death, one has to take birth again. Okay, we have somebody doing some notation. Let me just remove. All right. Don't use this pencil. This is for me to use. Okay. This is so. This is Punarjanma. Uh, whether do we get rebirth? This is for first verse where Krishna has spoken very explicitly. 2.13, he is saying that he accepts this when at the end of one body, after quitting one body, he will take another body. 2.22, Krishna is saying, Vasansi Jirnani Yatha Vihaya, that just like a person gives up old and useless cloth, a garment, a soul accept a new body, giving up old and useless body. So this is reincarnation. This is reincarnation, and this is where other scriptures don't even have a slightest, very slight mention of this reincarnation, but we have elaborate information about reincarnation. Now, this itself proves that our scriptures are higher than all other scriptures in the world. Bhagavad Gita is better and gives higher knowledge than any other scriptures of any other religion, because it has so much more information about the topics which are not dealt with by other religion. Most of the other religions try to bring people to a human level by giving them instructions to behave properly. That is not the ultimate goal of one's life. Ultimate goal of one's life is much, much better. Once you become human, then you can become a devotee. Once you can become a devotee, you can perform bhakti yoga. You can go back to spiritual world. It's not automatic. You cannot automatically go to America today. What to speak of going to spiritual world? So it's not free. It's not that easy. One has to endeavor very hard in this lifetime, in this human body, in order to become eligible to go back to spiritual world. Now Krishna gives a process, a goal, and a process to follow achieve that goal in Bhagavad Gita. And uh, and so that's why Bhagavad Gita has far deeper and richer meanings, and richer and deeper and richer information about bhakti yoga given than any other scriptures in the world. The other scriptures can't even imagine that reincarnation exists. They have no idea. And therefore we spoke about a movie and the impact that movies are having on our life. The way reincarnation is shown is when a lover boy and a lover girl, they die in one life, get reincarnated and meet again and get sing same songs that they sung in the previous life, and beat up the villains who would have become old people by then, and then again get married. The reincarnation has no better purpose than this. Apart from this, they have not shown reincarnation, but we reincarnate every now and then. We existed in past, we exist today, we exist tomorrow, we will continue to exist tomorrow. The Bollywood image created is the way they have created that image, because most of the Bollywood was either controlled by atheistic people or Islamic or Christianity people. Hollywood, Bollywood, they are propagating what their scriptures are telling them. Atheists have no scriptures at all, so for them anything is okay. But because of the Islamic influence, they propagated what Islamic scriptures taught them. And Hindus blindly followed because they had forgotten the information from Bhagavad Gita. They've forgotten this verse. They've forgotten 2.13. They've forgotten 2.22, which clearly tell that this is not what people take rebirth. People will take rebirth. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu and dhruvo janma mritasya cha. You should not think people live life as if they will never die. That's not going to be the case. They are definitely going to die. Dhruva is definite, certain मृत्यु. ध्रुवो मृत्यु जो जी रहा है, anybody who is alive today is definitely going to meet death. And ध्रुवो जन्म मृतस्य च, and after dying you will also take another birth. That is also ध्रुवा. So किसी को choice नहीं है. We didn't took birth by our choice, and neither we are going to die by our choice, with our choice. And after death, when we will take a new birth, that will also not happen by our choice. We are controlled by Krishna and his energies and his Maya. We may think we are in our control, but we have practically no control, very minuscule control on our own thought and our own desires at the most. But we are controlled, and Krishna will throw us into whosoever's body that he think fit is fit for us. It could be cat's body, it could be dog's body, it could be, we can be thrown into any body and we can have another miserable life. so uh, so we should not so we should know from where to learn our philosophical truth. We should not get carried away by the entertainment industry, movie icons. We shouldn't make them our icons. We should have right icons, and take inspiration from right people, because blind will not be able to lead another blind. You need to be guided by devotees, and unless if you have that, our life is heading for another disasters. We are going to die, we are going to take another body. And because we don't know what to do in human birth, we may end up doing wrong things and again take another body, and we may perpetually remain locked in the cycle of death and birth. We may not have opportunity to escape this cycle, go out of this cycle. So that should be our goal in our life, and we should seek answers at right places to attain our goal, not at wrong places. 33rd, we'll start from here. 33rd verse, अथ चत्वम imam dharmyam sangaramam na karishyasi tatah swadharmam kirtim cha hitva papam avapsasi. Krishna is speaking something very important. Hitva papam avapsasi. Now, if you don't fight, if you give up your fight as a kshatriya, you are supposed to fight. And if you choose not to fight, just because of the miserly weakness of your mind is telling you not to fight. It's not that you are incapacitated to fight. You are completely capable of fighting, and you have all the right reason to fight. Not that you are fighting to steal somebody's wife, steal somebody's kingdom. Those kind of fight. This is not that kind of a fight. This is a dharma kshetra, kurukshetra. This is a place of religion, and you are fighting a war for the protection of religion. So it's your duty to fight. If you fail in your duty, hitva papam avapsasi, you will ruin your neglecting your duty for neglecting your duty, and you will lose your reputation as a fighter, akirti. So kirti, akirti is the negative publicity, and you will become infamous uh, for neglecting your duty, neglecting what you should have done. Now, this is irresponsible act, and irresponsible people are not respected in society. Obviously, they are not respected in society. So why you want to lose your kirti? And this is definitely certainly incur sin. You will certainly incur sin. Now, Arjuna would have certainly incurred sin by behaving irresponsibly on the battlefield. For us, our battlefield is our family life. For us, if we are a student, our battlefield is our studies. And that's where, if we don't do our acts, our part sincerely, if as a student, if I don't study sincerely, if as a grahastha, I don't take care of my family sincerely, if as a homemaker, wife, I shouldn't, if I don't do things which I'm supposed to be doing with all sincerity, then I will definitely, certainly incur sin for neglecting what is my duty. So it's not beneficial. It's not beneficial. So again, there are higher duties and lower duties. If I'm a homemaker, I don't look after my children, but I spend a lot of time in kitty party and WhatsApp messages, handling my WhatsApp entertainment, searching for entertainment on TV, WhatsApp, and social media. This is definitely sinful reaction. But when a person is performing devotional service as a and suppose for a higher cause, a higher duty is, for example, a person is supposed to look after his parents, and because of his habits of drinking and gambling and doing time pass with friends, if he's neglecting his parents, this is sinful action. But if the same person is in working in army, goes when the duty call, he go and patrolling at the border, he is neglecting his duty as a parent, towards his parent. That is not considered to be sin, because he's doing a duty which is higher than his present duty. So there are duties at a higher and lower level, and we should, if you are doing higher duties, then it's not considered to be sinful. And the highest duty is performing devotional service to Krishna. So that's why those who become brahmacharis, by giving away their home, going away from their parents, and devoting themselves completely to the service of Krishna and his mission, uh, they are glorious. They are considered to be glorious, even if in the process they probably would have neglected some of the bodily duties, some of the parent duties towards their parents, towards their sisters and brothers, towards their society in general, because now they are doing duties which are far far greater than what these duties are, and hence that's considered to be glorious. So it will actually give them, increase their fame. It will not bring infamy to them, neither any sin. If you're doing work for Krishna, you will never get sin. No question of you getting sin. So so higher than the bodily duties, at a bodily level, duties are performed for the benefit of people at large, better than duty. This is better than only, you know so the hierarchy is doing something at purely bodily level, and that's only for the pleasure of your own body, your own mind. When you act at this, so that is a basic level. As a body, if you have a body, you have duty towards your body also. You have to maintain it. But this is very basic. But then above this is when you act for the maintenance of your family. Above this, when you act for the maintenance of your society. Above this, you are acting for the maintenance of well-being of your say country. And above this could be when you are acting for the well-being of the mankind or the the world altogether. And above this can still be when you are acting for the pleasure of your lordships of Lord Krishna and performing work only for his pleasure, for his missionary work. When you are participating into, then that is considered to be the highest duty. And if you're doing this, then all other lower duties, even if you don't do properly, they are considered to be all right, because you are engaged in the highest possible degree, highest kind of work. So this is the hierarchy. 2.37, 2.38 we discuss. Now, not the this is not the ultimate instruction. This is only a answer to one of the question that Arjuna had asked, that how will I enjoy? Krishna is answering that. It should not be taken as the ultimate instructions in Bhagavad Gita that you should try to enjoy. Either way, you should enjoy. That's not what Krishna is recommending to Arjuna. Enjoyment will come. Sukha dukha. In fact, he's trying to say that sukha dukkhe same krutva. Treat enjoyment and distress equal. Do you do the fight for the sake of fighting without considering happiness and distress, loss or gain, victory or defeat, and by so doing you shall never incur sin. So this is when you do your duty as a kshatriya, when you will fight without considering, without being attached to the cause or the effect. The cause, what is why am I fighting, and the effect, what am I going to get out of this fight. Similarly, at our level, cause is because I have a family, I have to take care of them. Neither should be attached to the cause nor the effect. by by doing this nicely, I will become famous, my children will love me. It's up to them whether they will love you or not. Do your part, do your duty with all your sincerity, do it to the best of your ability. If they all carrying their own baggage, our children are carrying our own baggage. If they are, if they take inspiration from your life and the instructions from Bhagavad Gita, they will be good children. Then they will definitely love you back. But if they have not, they will not love you back, no matter how hard you try. Duryodhan didn't really love his son, his father. He used his father rather than loved his father. But no matter how much Dhritarashtra was inclined to do whatever Duryodhana was wanted to do, right, wrong, good, bad, ugly, Dhritarashtra became party to everything, all the nonsensical desires that Duryodhana had, hoping that he will love him back. But Duryodhana simply used Dhritarashtra to get things done, get things whatever he wanted, either this way or that way. He would have got things done anyway. And he just used Dhritarashtra as an instrument. He never really loved him. So, so we should unnecessarily not get attached like Dhritarashtra to even our children, to the cause, neither the cause nor the effect. Because they are my children, I should love them, or when I will do something for them, they will love me back. Either way, our such these goals can be defeated very easily. If they are going to, if there is putra sukh of santati sukh in your karma, it will come. If it is not there, no matter how much you try, it will not come. It's all karmic. End of the day, you have to do what you're supposed to do as a parent, as whatever is your duty, do it to the best of your ability. After that, remain detached, learn to be detached, or else you will continue to suffer. Because all your desires may not get fulfilled. In that sense, you will indulge into sin, you will indulge into sinful actions. So um, peace of mind and happiness depends on how effectively we are able to manage the high and lows in our life, ups and downs in our lives. Sometimes good and bad result we get can directly be linked with good and bad actions we might have performed. We study hard, get good marks. That's a cause and there is effect. But we eat five ice creams and next day we get sore throat. there is a cause, there is an effect, very clearly identifiable. However, not always things are that clear. Things can be, uh, we can get caught by surprises. Many times we 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 study, the good and bad results cannot be linked directly to any of the action in the past. But this is bewildering situation, and we need to be able to remain detached in that situation. Knowledge of Bhagavad Gita make us sense out of situations intellectually, and if we have performed bhakti in close association of devotees, then each such incidents will help us come closer to Krishna. So whenever we get surprised, for no fault of ours, we suffer. For no fault of ours, we've taken good care of our health, but when we fall sick out of nowhere, and or our relationship suffer, our relationship become very sore for no fault of ours, where our financial condition get deteriorated for no fault of ours. We're trying to be as diligent in spending. We're not. We're trying to be saving as much as we can, spending as carefully as we can. But despite of all that, I suddenly lose job and I'm suffering. It's not that. It's karmic. It's karmic. One should know it's karmic, and then one should be tolerant enough. One should one should accept the situation. One should mitigate the situation. Do what best you can to improve that situation, but end of it, also learn to be tolerant in all those situations, because that will depend on your peace of mind, and happiness will depend on how well you are able to tolerate, how well you are able to remain steady during the ups and downs of life. 2.40 नेहा विक्रमणाशोस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्व अल्प इति अस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात्. In this endeavor, loss there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Whatever devotional service we perform is never lost. Such assurance, my Lord, increase our faith and confidence so that we can take up this process with commitment and wholeheartedly. Practically, also, we can see children demonstrating talents which are uh, a lot of children learn Bhagavad Gita, all 700 shlokas at a very small age, practically with very little help. Not that they are endeavoring very hard in showing, but now it's not possible for them to be able to learn Bhagavad Gita within such a short span. It's not possible for them to have attachment to the study of Bhagavad Gita from such a small age, because these people have done devotional service in their previous life. In this life, they pick it up from where they are, when where they left off. And that's why, if for some it is easy, for some it is very difficult. And the real reason behind it is, there's a carry forward, there's a brought forward bhakti from previous life, which they are continuing in the current life, and as a result they are, say, taking it, finding it very easy. So we should always, again, yesterday we were listening to Sitaram Prabhuji's lecture the other day, on last Sunday, and he said after 45, after 50, we should do, we should only focus on doing things which we will be able to take with us for in our next life. And what is it that we will take in our next life is only bhakti. Only bhakti, devotional service, whatever we will perform in this life, we will be able to take it forward to our next life. And we should focus, because we don't know after 50, after 55, after 60, we don't know how much remaining lifespan we have. When will be our last day, when will be our last hour, when will be our last moment. So all the time, practically, we should devote for doing things which will benefit us in our next journey. There's nothing wrong in that. In fact, that's primary, should be our primary focus if we happen to be in that age. Not worry about when is your son going to get a job, when is he going to get married, when is he going to get uh, go abroad and buy his second house, third house, fifth car, and when he's going to. So you should not be bothered. You should not be bothered about this, because You'd have done your duty. You should have been done with your duties at a family level the moment your children are beyond 20 age of 20, and they've been educated as per their choices. Beyond that, you have no duty. You don't have to create homes for your grandchildren. That's not your job. That's let them figure out where they want to live, if they want to at all live in India or any other country. But you should not be busy accumulating wealth for your children and grandchildren and their children. That's not what you should utilize your life for. You should use your life for things which you will take with us to the next life. Okay. व्यवसायित्मका बुद्धिर एकेह कुरुनंदन बहुशाखा ये अनंताश्च बुद्धय व्यवसाय नाम. Now, this bhakti 2.40, what is mentioned, how it is performed? It is performed in Vyavasayitmaka Buddhi. What is Vyavasay? Vyavasay is business. A businessman is never resting. A businessman has no holiday. Public holiday also he doesn't stop thinking about his own business if he's owning a business. Why it is there is a single-minded focus. There's a single-minded focus. He is the owner. He has created this business from scratch. He's helped this seen this business grow, and if he stop paying attention to this business, his business will get destroyed also. So he has a single-minded focus. Vyavasayitmaka buddhir ekeha gurunandana. And if you keep bahushakha yanantascha, if you keep if your focus is multi-branch, intelligence is multi-branch, many branch, then um, then it is not helpful. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branch, and irresolute in their purpose is many branch, and many branch intelligence will not help you achieve success. Now, our success, what is our success? Our success is attaining, coming close to Krishna, attaining love for Krishna, and going back to Krishna. So, how do we understand this verse? It's very simple. If we take an admission in Commerce College, we stop exploring science, engineering, and medical and art colleges. Why? Because we should have single-minded focus. Now we do this practically in our life, and we should do it in spiritual life also. So if we are taken up Krishna consciousness as way of life, then we should continue. We should not. We should need not continue following all other paths of self-realization. If we are exploring, we should stop exploring. If we should do this selection, and we should take some time to conclude whether we want to lead Krishna conscious way or not. We should spend some time, and um, we have many devotees who have gone through many paths, have explored many paths. Famous is Radhanath Maharaj. Radhanath Maharaj book Journey Home. Practically, he has seen everything that is available in India as a spiritual path. He's practically seen through everything, and he's not that he's been just a visitor there. He's tried understanding what they do, how they do, why they do, the what, how, and why. Everything he's tried exploring with his sharp, intelligent mind. And in this book, he elaborately speak about all those paths also. And he also speak about Prabhupada and his mission and his teaching and his books and the conclusions given by Srila Prabhupada, by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in various scriptures. And that's how when he chose Prabhupada, he gave up everything else. So, and there are many such examples where we see that people have been wandering for a while, and they're doing this bit, little bit of this, little bit of that, little bit of this also. And but when they got to a conclusion that this is ultimate, this is where I'm getting 100% satisfaction. This is seems to be answering all my questions. Then I stop exploring. It's like you're seeing one girl after another girl, and you've seen tens and hundreds of girls. But when you get married, you should stop. You should stop, and you should focus and remain steady in one relationship itself. Similarly, in the bhakti yoga also, if you want to derive benefits, you should have this single minded focus in performance of bhakti, without which it will be not be possible for to perform devotional service with conviction, commitment and confidence, and it will not be of much, will not be able to do much progress, will not be able to get a lot of benefits out of it. So this is the reason why sometimes we feel that we are not progressing enough in bhakti, and this is the reason for that. So we're not able to develop love for Krishna. Love means love has two aspects of expressing love. One way to express love is uh, what we are what we are giving to our beloved, and what we are able to give up for our beloved. If, for example, children, when children are born in families, parents try to give them everything that they have. For them, they will sacrifice everything, everything, whatever they possess, they will give them, they will want to give them, and they give up for children. Many mothers give up their career for children. Many mothers, many times parents, give up their plans for vacation when children's exam come up. They give up, fathers give up watching IPL matches for the, if their children are studying and they are supposed to appear for exam next day. So what we give to our beloved and what we give up for our beloved, and if that beloved is Krishna, then this our progress in bhakti will depend on how much we are able to give, how much we are able to give up for the sake of Krishna, who is the object of our love and affection. And if we are not in single-minded, we don't have single-minded focus, we will not be able to neither able to give nor able to give up in a wholehearted way to Krishna. And because of this, we will not be able to focus. Single-minded focus, you know, so we should be, we should be, we should be associated with devotees, because if you are surrounded by improper association and our mind is filled with doubt and desires, again we will not be able to maintain single minded focus. So to protect us from that, we should have proper association. Within ISKCON also, we need to maintain a single-minded focus. Within ISKCON also, there are multiple devotees. Multiple devotees are all are trying to teach the same philosophy from the same Bhagavad Gita by written by Srila Prabhupada. But if we get connected, if we get associated with one group, we should remain attached to that group. If we are able to, because and this is what happens in our life also. Now our company, we may have 100 and 500 thousands of people, employees, but we may become friendly only where our minds meet. We are able to associate, with them closely. We are able to share with our heart only with few, one or two or maybe three, four employees in the entire, even though everyone is in working for the same company, wearing the same badge, wearing the same uniform. It happens in colleges also. Uh, there could be hundreds and thousands of students, but we become close friend only with few, only with couple of. So similarly, within ISKCON also, if you are associating with a particular group, you should remain loyal and associated with that, connected with that group alone, in order to benefit the most. So if you roam around, if you jump around, if you hop around the various groups, uh, they will also not be able to do justice to you. Neither you will be able to learn anything much from that association. So you should be fixed in your connection, devotee association also. So Vyavasayatmaka Buddhi can be used at multiple stage, multiple levels. Another beautiful verse, Bhogaishwarya Prasaktanam Taya Parata Chetasam Vyavasaitmaka Buddhi Samadhona Vidhyate. This Vyavasaitmaka Buddhi, which is Krishna is recommending in 41st verse, why will one not have? What will be the impediments for one to have that buddhi is bhoga and aishwarya asakti, asakti towards bhoga and aishwarya. If you are too much attached to bhoga and aishwarya, you will not be able to have a single minded focus on bhakti. So bhakti, you cannot make bhakti goal of your life. Your goal of your life, if becomes bhakti, then you will be successful. You will be successful in your endeavor, because then everything you will do from the point of view of increasing your bhakti, for coming closer to Krishna. You will work for going closer to Krishna. You will chant for going closer to Krishna. You will read for going closer to Krishna. You will eat to go closer to Krishna, because you will eat prasad. When you will read, instead of reading faltu magazines and books, romantic comedies, you will read scriptures. For when you will want to listen to music, you will go closer to Krishna by listening to spiritual music, kirtans and bhajans by wonderful devotees. When you eat, you will go close to Krishna by eating prasad. When you will associate, when you will have friends, you will go closer to Krishna by having devotee friends, very close devotee friends. And that way, by doing everything, you will go close to Krishna by working, even if you're not working directly for Krishna. But when you work with a consciousness of giving portion of your earning to Krishna, you are actually working for Krishna indirectly. So your work will also take you closer to Krishna, even though it's not directly related with Krishna. You're not working in temple. Even though that is the case, your work is taking you closer to Krishna. So Vyavasaitmaka buddhi samadho no vidhiyate. Now samadhi here again is not a samadhi that what we generally think about. The general meaning of samadhi is somebody sitting in yogic posture and concentrating with eyes closed, and he's getting some revelations in his mind, or he's seeing some visions. This is general meaning of samadhi is, but Krishna is using this word samadhi in a different way. Uh, Samadhi is basically, Krishna is implying that he will not become successful in his devotional service. The samadhi is actually translated here as devotional service. Is not samadhi. If you simply go by the word samadhi, we will get wrong meaning. But samadhi means devotional service. Success in devotional service is samadhi, and bhakti success milne ke liye we have to be single. We have to have single-minded focus. Okay, so moving on. So temporary material gains also, we need to regulate these urges, so that what to speak of gaining permanent spiritual fruit result, how much we need to regulate. So what we are basically giving is, for even for an actor to be successful, they have to regulate their mind. They have to regulate their desires. For a girl to win Miss India contest, she has to give up a lot of her desires. She does not have don't have to act on many desires that may come to her mind. She may want to eat ice cream, or eat this, eat that, go there, sleep late, don't do exercise. She don't read. None of those things she may like, but she will still do it because she wants to win the contest. So one has to perform not always according to one's own desires and whims and fancies. One should have a higher purpose in life and should work accordingly. When you have exam, even if your IPL final is going on, you will not watch exam. You will not watch that cricket match, but you will prepare for your exam, because you consider your exam to be critical, important. Similarly, we should give priority to bhakti. Attaining Krishna, make that priority of your life, and then no everything, everything around, everything, every other thing in life should fall around this central objective. That you should go closer to Krishna, you should attain Krishna at the end of this life. And so everything else can become instrumental in doing this one central activity, some central theme. If we don't have that, then we will then we will just get dragged behind the asakti, trying to fulfill our different desires for bhoga and aishwarya at different level. 45th verse, Traigunya Vishaveda, Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna, Nirdandvo Nitya Satvastho, Niryogakshema Atvanvan. Vedas deal mainly with the subject of three modes of material nature. Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes, become free from all dualities and from all anxieties, for gain safety to be established in the self. One may wonder, what does it mean really? And what is how it is useful to me? It simply means we should, on the devotional path, um, Vedas basically deals primarily with the Karmakanda section, where people have unlimited desires. And to fulfill those desires, Vedas also provide a framework. By doing certain sacrifices, you become eligible to to enjoy certain bhogas. Certain sense enjoyment is available even in Vedic fold of life, Vedic life also. The sense enjoyment was available, but for that you have to perform certain sacrifices, perform certain, follow certain regulations, perform. Don't act at the level of animal. Just because they also want sense gratification, you also want sense gratification. Don't become an animal. Have some regulation, follow some regulations, some rules and regulations, and using under those rules and regulations, have your quota of sense enjoyment. This is what Vedic framework provide. But this is not what Vedic framework recommends. It doesn't recommend this. Why? Because unless if you get caught up only in sense enjoyment, you will never be able to come out of it and think about higher goal. Why? Who am I? Why am I suffering in this world? Why am I taking birth? Uh, body. Why am I changing body all the time? Why am I taking birth after birth? Why am I being caught up in this cycle of Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi? These higher questions one will not get if one is too much occupied with the thoughts and the desires for sense enjoyment. अभी मैं ये खाऊंगा, फिर ये करूंगा, फिर सोऊंगा, फिर उठकर पिक्चर देखूंगा, फिर क्रिकेट खेलूंगा, फिर पिक्चर देखूंगा, फिर मैं ये म्यूजिक कॉन्सर्ट सुनूंगा, फिर मैं ऐसा करूंगा, फिर खाऊंगा, फिर आइसक्रीम खाऊंगा, फिर यहाँ जाके ये फेमस है वो खाऊंगा, फिर रात को हम क्रिकेट खेलने जाएंगे, फिर सुबह में हम. सो इफ वन गेट caught up in making these kind of a plans, they may not be illegal, by the way, and not to a great extent immoral or unethical. Okay, but they are definitely helping you forget Krishna. To that extent, they are definitely dangerous thoughts. If you remain caught up in this, you will not have thought time only to think about higher realities of life. And obviously, if you'll not think about those higher realities, you will not be able to do anything for that also. So your lifetime can just get wasted like this. uh, just like this, you will see the death in front of you and you will wonder what you did. क्या खाऊं और क्या पहनूं, इसमें पूरी उम्र बीत गई. Lot of people say this is a famous saying I've heard, and it's so true. क्या खाऊं, क्या पहनूं और क्या करूं, इसमें पूरी उम्र बीत जाती है. एंड पता ही नहीं चलता टाइम कैसे खत्म हो गया. एंड वी जस्ट meet another death and just take another body at some random, with some random mother and random father, random religion, random place, in random relatives, amongst random relatives. May our Maharashtrian today, next birth could become Tamil, could become next month Mallu, could become next birth Gujarati or Punjabi, and we may believe that that's what we are, and then try to live life according to that body. Or worse is we may become dog and cat and start barking and mewing and think this is great. I'm so enjoying. so 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 this is what bhoga and aishwarya desires can do to us. And when we go away from that, um, so Vedas actually provide a framework for those who have no control over their urges of bodily urges. But Vedas don't recommend this. Bhagavad Gita teach us to go beyond such activities and perform devotional service only for the pleasure of Krishna. And by that, as it will be revealed in the subsequent verses of Bhagavad Gita. Hence, all other type of worship, whatever we must be doing, must be fasting for pleasure of Shivji, Durga Mata, this Mata, that Mata, Ganesh Ji, uh, this Baba, that Baba, and so many other forms and shapes of worships and beliefs and faith that we might all be having. And we need to give up all of that and become single-minded in worshipping Krishna if we wish to get complete benefits out of this devotional service. If we continue to be multi-branch, if we continue to be continue to be divided. मैं ये भी करूंगा, वो भी करूंगा, ये इसको भी खुश रखूंगा, उसको भी खुश रखूंगा. None of this will be able to achieve. Will not be able to make Krishna happy, neither those devatas happy. I could be an ordinary uh, corporator, councillor in my locality, and if you can come to me, consider me as a prime minister, I'm fool if I believe that, and you are fool because you are thinking like that. I'm not prime minister. I'm only a corporator. I'm only a councillor. I'm a very small government official. I may have a little bit more powers than ordinary citizens may have for carrying out my duties, but apart from that, I am nothing great. I am just as an ordinary citizen as others are. Just have some additional responsibility. For that, I have been given some additional authority, but nothing great. Don't consider me as king. Don't consider me as a president of India. Don't consider me to be the prime minister of India. There are different people, and they are far better than me, far greater than me. And don't you think about me like them. So if you think about, if you mistake somebody's identity, similarly, if we can't take mistake identity of demigods, they are helping Krishna, they are serving Krishna, and by becoming their devotees, we are fooling our own self, and we are not trying to fool them because they know who they are, and they are not going to get carried away when we say you are the greatest personality of Godhead. They said, stupid, you know who am I serving? That person is the Supreme Lord, not me. So, but generally people go to these devatas for satisfying their desires for bhoga and aishwarya, and at times, they get those desires fulfilled through these devatas, but it does not help them in becoming devotee of Lord Krishna, and hence they are not able to achieve anything substantial, any substantial benefit out of such upasana. The same point is drawn further. Yavanartha udapane sarvatah samplutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanataha. That the again, this is Krishna has used a beautiful example, a metaphor used, that a great well, many small well and a great reservoir. Both are bodies of water. A great big reservoir and a small well, uh, all purposes served by small well can definitely be served by a great reservoir. Similarly, when you worship Krishna, um, everybody else is satisfied. Everyone else is satisfied. All the purposes of Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind him. Vedeshcha sarvair aham eva vedyo. वेदास में टेल यू टू वर्शिप डिफरेंट देवताज फॉर डिफरेंट. आपको लंबी आयु चाहिए तो इनकी उपासना कीजिए, आपको धन चाहिए इनकी उपासना चाहिए, पुत्र चाहिए ये करो, पति चाहिए तो ये कीजिए, शांति इस तरह से मल्टीपल थिंग्स आर स्पोकन अबाउट. डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ उपासनाज आर गिवन, बट अल्टीमेट उपासना सा, अगर आपको कुछ नहीं करना है, कृष्णा की भक्ति कीजिए. जो आएगा वो आने वाला है आपके लाइफ में. जो अच्छा आने वाला है वो भी आने वाला है, जो बुरा आने वाला है वो भी आने वाला है. अगर कोई चेंज कर सकता है तो भगवान चेंज कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज ही इज द क्रिएटर, मेंटेनर एंड डिस्ट्रॉयर, ओनर, कंट्रोलर ऑफ दिस एंटायर यूनिवर्स. सो अगर दुनिया में कोई चेंज, एक व्यक्ति है जो चेंज कर सकता है हमारा नसीब, तो वो है कृष्ण. तो इसके लिए ये सबकी छोटी छोटी भक्ति करना छोड़ दीजिए, भगवान की भक्ति में आप विलीन हो जाइए. एंड भगवान, इफ यू वांट, ही विल चेंज योर डेस्टिनी, ही विल चेंज योर entire destiny. So one should not be hopping different devatas. One need not really do that, and one should become fixed in the service of Krishna. One should become fixed in the devotional service to Krishna. Karmanye iva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhu mate sangostva akarmani. You are not the doer. You are the doer, but you are not the only doer. What to get, what not to get is determined by our own effort and then sanctioned by Krishna. So Krishna has a role to play in all the fruits that we get as a result of our activity. We may perform some activity and we may expect certain fruit, a certain desired result out of it. But those desired depends on our effort as well as on Krishna's sanction. When both are matching, we get results according to our expectation. When there is a mismatch in the both, we don't get results as per our expectation. Simple example, a farmer has to sow the seed, plow the land, sow the seed, do his part, and then pray for rain to come. Rain comes with Krishna's mercy, and if the rain comes, harvest comes also as a result of that rain. So how much harvest to come, good harvest, bad harvest, all depends on Krishna also. But thinking that the rain will not come, if farmer fail to sow the seed itself, then then he's failed in his duty. Because just by thinking that no rain will come, so let me not plow the land and sow the seed, let me just sit idle. And then if rain comes and no crop comes, because it's not Krishna's fault, it's farmer's fault. It's if farmer has done his part, but no rain comes and still he doesn't get a crop, that is because of his bad karma. So he's not to be blamed for becoming negligent to his towards his karma. He's done his part. He's plowed the field. He's sown the seed. But the rain, if that doesn't come, it's not his fault. So at least we should be doing our part in every situation. The result that will come to us, good, bad, ugly, is will depend on Krishna's desire, Krishna's sanction, and Krishna will sanction seeing our own karmic bank account. What we deserve is what we will get. And Krishna will give us what we deserve rather than what we want. And to that extent, if we are not attached, we should be able to accept with um, reasonably, with reasonable peace of mind. We should be able to accept whatever the result Krishna sanctions ultimately. So know that a lot of people misunderstand this verse as कर्म करो कर्म के फल की अपेक्षा मत करो. That's that's uh, that's a wrong interpretation. You have no right to duty. अपेक्षा क्यों नहीं करना? If you are cooking bhoga for Lord, क्या it's not, is it too much to expect that you will good cook chapatis? You will cook good chapatis? No, you should try to cook good chapatis. You can't half cook. You can't offer half cooked chapatis to Krishna, say, telling him the verse that कर्मण्येव अधिकारस्ते माँ फलेषु कदाचनम, कर्म करो फल की चिंता मत करो. क्यों नहीं चिंता करें? We should worry about we should do karma in such a way. So from our side, we should not do anything undone. अगर भोगा बना रहे हैं तो अच्छे से भोगा बनाएं. हम अपनी तरफ से पूरी कोशिश करें. इट्स अप टू ultimately up to Krishna how our whether our bhoga become tasty or not tasty. That's up to Krishna. अगर चपाती जल जाती है, if we are negligent and चपाती जल जाती है, that's our fault. अगर हाफ कुक चपाती हम ऑफर करते हैं, दैट इज अवर फॉल्ट. सो वी आर नेग्लिजेंट, वी आर बीइंग irresponsible. Now we should not be done. This verse does not tell you to become irresponsible and negligent while doing your duty. You have to do your duty with with complete attention and complete diligence. And then whatever the result is, that you should accept as Krishna's will. Not so Krishna's will, Krishna's sanction determines the outcome of our action, not the action of itself. So we should do our actions wholeheartedly to the best of our ability, and then accept the result as it may come as a sanction from Krishna. Again, lot to learn here. If somebody says they can't learn, you should be talking. We should be calling us why they are not able to learn. Every verse, we've just picked up a few, but every verse will have so much teaching. प्रजाहाति यदा कामान सर्वान पार्थ मनोगतान आत्मन्य आत्मना तुष्टः स्थित प्रज्ञ तदोच्यते. A mental concoction is being talked about. Mental concoction is very dangerous. I listen a lot of people, we meet a lot of people who say मैं मेरे मन का राजा हूँ, मैं अपनी सुनता हूँ. Nobody can dictate terms with me. I am my own dictator. I don't take orders. I'll do whatever I want. There was a famous dialogue in one movie, मेरे मन को भाया मैं कुत्ता काट के खाया. So people take pride in talking like this, and they are idiots. They are top-notch fools. Nothing is in their control, unfortunately, and they don't even have intelligence to understand that. Mental concoction is dangerous, and Krishna is saying that here, that give up all varieties of desires for sense gratification which arise out of mental concoction. And when his mind thus purified finds satisfaction in the self alone, that is said to be the uh, somebody in pure transcendental consciousness. Now, if unless you escape, come out of mental concoction, you will not have peace of mind. You will not have, you will not have purification of mind, and that impure mind will cannot be peaceful mind. So you will not be able to ever have witness any happiness. So because if there is no peace, there is no happiness. So no purity, no purification, no peace, no peace, no happiness. So you'll always remain disturbed. And why it is happening? Because you're allowing your mind, mental concoction, to produce desires, varieties of desires. How many? Unlimited desires. So mental concoction is very dangerous. And so things like that are often people say foolishly. Krishna does not appreciate such attitude, and its contrary is saying that one should give up such attitude. Our mind should not be trusted. Instead, we should have faith in scriptures like Bhagavad Gita and the instructions that going against our desire, we should um, act as per the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, even if they are against the desires of our mind. Our mind may tell us to sleep late, and but we should wake up early because Bhagavad Gita wants us to wake up early and chant. Our mind may tell us not to accept Krishna as an authority, but we should accept Krishna as authority because Krishna has created the world. Krishna has, knowing his greatness, we should accept him as authority. Krishna says in 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, there is nothing, nobody equal to or greater than me. Mattah parataram na anyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. There is nobody equal to or greater than me. There is in the 10th chapter, Krishna says that aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanmitaha. This knowing about my greatness, how great am I? Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Everything is manifested by me. Everything is created by me, and everything is coming out of me. Everything has been created by me. Coming matta sarvam pravartate and iti matva bhajante mam. If you know this fact about me, this is a fact. This is, I have created everything. Everything is my expansion. Everything is created by my energy, and I have created it by my will. And if you know this fact, if you know about this fact, you iti matva bhajante mam, you will start becoming worshipping me, Buddha Bhava Samannvitaha, but wholeheartedly. With all your emotions, you will start worshipping me. You will become my devotee. So this is the cause and this is the effect. If you know Krishna's greatness, you will become Krishna's devotee. So our mind should not be trusted. Our mind may teach us, tell us something completely opposite. But therefore, mental concoction, if you do too much of mental concoction, you will not be able to do bhakti because then it will produce ideas, desires, thoughts, doubts, which will take you away from Krishna. Because as a mind, uh, mind wants to rule also. Mind is also Krishna's energy, and mind has a desire to rule over the soul as well. And mind will not accept easily somebody else's rules, Krishna's rule. But we need to beat our mind with shoes twice a day at least. So this is what that verse is telling us to do. Beat your mind with the shoes. If mind is producing desires which are contrary to the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, beat them with shoes, beat them with your broom or shoes. झाड़ू लेके उसकी पिटाई कीजिए, जूते से मारिए अपने मन को, एंड उनको बोलिए कि आई विल स्टिल एक्ट अकॉर्डिंग टू द इंस्ट्रक्शंस ऑफ भगवद गीता. If you like it or hate it, you better start liking it because this is what I'm going to do. When you are so much determined, you will enjoy complete that your mind. With that determination, the mind purification happens, and with the purification of mind, peace of mind you will get. With peace of mind, happiness you will experience, and this is what everyone wants anyway. विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्जं रसोप्यस्य परम दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते. Rasavarjam, rasopyasya. Now, these are important words. Sometimes some words in a particular verse are more important than the entire verse, or they become the highlight of the verse. So, Rasavarjam, rasopyasya, this last sentence is the highlight of this verse. And this is the cause, this is the effect. Um, so, Rasavarjam, rasopyasya, by experiencing higher taste, one is able to give up lower taste. And that's how they can be fixed in Krishna consciousness. They can be param drashtva nivartante. They can actually go to the spiritual world. They can become fixed in consciousness and in the bhakti. They can become fixed in bhakti. But Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dena. Nirahar is means keeping. Nirahar is not providing food. Their senses for sense object are the food for the senses. Eyes want to see beautiful forms. Male body gets pleasure by observing female body, and the opposite, vice versa, is also true. So but if you do too much of this, you will have no desire for left for bhakti. You will get dragged into the sense gratification only. So nirahar is declining the senses of their ahar. So by obviously by ahar means wrong ahar, and we must give them something better than what, not just by what they desire. If eyes want to see beautiful forms, we should go and see DT. That's a transcendental beautiful form. By seeing DT, our eyes are getting a higher taste. A tongue wants to eat. Tongue want to taste different type of food stuff. So instead of eating any food anywhere on the road, we should eat prasad. We should eat food that is first offered to Krishna and take it with that consciousness that this has been tasted by Krishna. These are the remnants on the plate of Lord Sri Krishna, and this has saliva of Krishna mixed in it. Krishna has just chewed this food stuff and he's left it for me to eat, honor, and it's my great honor that I'm getting this food stuff, which are leftovers by Krishna, with that mood, and it's mercy. Ultimately, it is mercy. We can't manufacture food. Even one grain we cannot manufacture in our factory without using resources from Krishna. So it's ultimately prasad. It's mercy. So with that attitude, when we eat prasad, it become purifying. It has a purifying effect. So the same food, we eat as prasad with that consciousness, can have a completely different effect on us than with the food we eat to fill our belly, or just satisfy our tongue. So, raso varjam rasopyassa. We will give up lower, lower enjoyments when we get exposed to the higher enjoyments. And enjoying is the nature of the soul. Enjoying is the nature of soul. Innate nature of soul is to be blissful. So it will search for enjoyment somewhere. So better to provide them with spiritual enjoyment, spiritual sense objects for the senses, so that all our senses are not kept hungry. At the same time, they are purified, because now you are connecting those senses with Krishna. And more we do this, more purification happens, and easily we are able to now give up lower objects of sense gratification. Example, you yourself probably can look back in your life, for whatever time you would have started performing bhakti, you would have given up sometimes few things which were detrimental for your bhakti. For example, meat eating, for example, alcohol, cigarette smoking, or any other kind of intoxication, gambling, if one was engaged, illicit sexual activities if one was engaged into. So a lot of those things become impediments, stumbling block in bhakti. And if you have followed the japa process properly, if you have studied Bhagavad Gita properly, you should be able to easily give up those activities, because now, by experiencing higher taste, the lower taste can easily be given up. यततो ह्यपि कौन्तेय पुरुषस्य विपश्चितः इंद्रियाणि प्रमाथीनि हरन्ति प्रसभम मनः. What is spoken here is basically the how powerful indriyas are, how powerful our senses are. And these indriyas are not only powerful, but they're pramati. Pramati means they're like mad. What what are they capable of doing? Haranti prasabham manaha. हरंती इज किडनैपिंग। जैसे कि छोटा बच्चा स्कूल से आते हुए कोई चोर आके उसको उठा के लेके जाते हैं, बच्चा इज हेल्पलेस, उसका मुंह दबा दिया तो आवाज ही नहीं निकलेगी, बेहोश भी हो सकता है। सो अ स्मॉल चाइल्ड cannot fight thieves, the big thieves, and is helplessly being kidnapped. Similarly, these indriyas, they become so strong. Now they're supposed to be weaker than mind. Mind is supposed to control indriyas. But sometimes if you focus too much on the indriyas, then they get so much strength that they can forcibly kidnap mind of a person who is vipaschitaha. Vipaschitaha means is a knowledgeable person who is trying to control his mind, who is understanding. Just like Ajamil was a brahmana, he didn't go to forest thinking I will watch a sensual scene today. He went to forest, was sent by his own father to collect dry wood for a yagya. And when he saw a embrace between a prostitute and her lover, it's not that he got attracted at that right moment itself, but he allowed his eyes to watch continuously, and thereby it eventually entered his, he couldn't withdraw his eyes from that scene, and therefore it got caught, and eventually his mind was kidnapped, and eventually that led to destruction of his family life. He kicked out his wife, a young small wife and parents out of home. He brought that prostitute home, had multiple children with her, started doing anything and everything to keep her happy, uh, for doing all kind of criminal activity, gave up all his brahmanical culture and qualities, and become a pakka chore, and deteriorated completely uh, until he kept name of his youngest son as Narayana, and chanted his name indirectly, name of Lord indirectly, at the moment of his death when Yabduta started pulling his soul. So, what disaster mind can do? What is in it for us? What is in it for us? Of course, it's our mind can be no different. It's not that हम अजामिल से ज्यादा strong है. अजामिल की ये हालत हो सकती है. Was a good ब्राह्मणा, good cultured ब्राह्मणा, उसकी अगर ये हालत हो सकती है, तो हमारी क्या हालत हो सकती है? तो how much we should allow our senses to get dragged towards the sense object? How much careful we should be, how much more careful we should be while dealing in the world, uh, not to get caught in various sensual activities. So this is how we have to protect our own bhakti. Prabhupada used to say, you fly your own aeroplane. You have to fly your own aeroplane because you have to make sure that you protect your own bhakti. If you are not going to do that, nobody else is going to do it for you. Devotees may push your car of bhakti for some time from behind. They cannot do it perpetually. Eventually you need to start your car and you need to start driving. And one important thing in which will prevent you from performing bhakti continuously is sensual activity. If you are too much engaged in sensual activities, this chapter 2 actually provides a lot of uh, information about sense control and mind control. Give a lot of importance to these two activities alone. And that's true. If you are not able to control these two things, you are not able to um, you cannot progress anywhere in the bhakti process. If any bhakti marga is not asking you to do these two things first, yama and niyama, what to do, what not to do. If you are not teaching these two things, then they are cheating. This is cheating religion. uh, अब वट एवर यू डू, इट्स ऑल ओके. अगर ऐसा कोई रिलीजन बताता है, ऐसा कोई आध्यात्मिक मार्ग आपको बताता है, वो गलत बता रहा है. नॉट एवरीथिंग इज ओके. There are things to be done, there are things should not be done. And how elaborately Krishna has explained this in this particular section of Bhagavad Gita, that itself proves the superiority of our scriptures over any other scriptures in the world. These two verses, ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः संगस्तेषुपजायते संगात संजयाते कामाः कामात् क्रोधो भिजायते क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृति विभ्रमः स्मृति भ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. We may think कि ये हमारे साथ नहीं होता है, but think again, every day this is happening with us. every day this is happening with you. Every day you go out to purchase a sari or purchase a nice shirt, nice pant. This is happening to you. You don't buy, you get, the more you look at a piece of jewelry, a piece of bangle, a piece of earrings, a piece of no matter if it is, even if it is not gold or if it's not some precious metal, even if it's a roadside purchase that you may do for 100, whatever you do which is not for you what you need, but which is what for what your desire is out of this, if you look at a subject matter, and then you dhyato vishan punsa, very beautiful word, dhyato. You just don't see it. You imagine in your mind how much you will enjoy with that particular sense object. It could be a pair of clothes. It could be a pair of shoes, a pair of clothes, pair of earrings, pair of glasses. It could be sunglasses. It could be some. It could be anything. It could be watching a movie, a new trailer that may we may see, and we may develop a desire to watch movie. And if you think about that for a little longer, ध्यान चालू कर दिया उसका उस चीज का, then you, even if it is something that know you shouldn't do, you may end up doing it. You may end up doing it. And this 8 step fall often happens in our life every now and then. It could be when you see you are a diabetic and you see a pastry. You are very fond of eating pastries, and if you see pastry and then you say, "Oh, pastry prasadam hai, and it's in the temple only. It's offered to Krishna. Mahaprasad hai. तो खाना चाहिए. भगवान ने बोला है." But at your bodily level, you are not able to digest sugar, so you should not be eating it. But if you think about that too much, this 8 step downfall can happen, and you might end up eating pastry even if you should not have been. You should not, because the prasad will have its spiritual potency. Prasad will have its spiritual effect, but being a matter which is used
Hare
in.
Krishna, Prabhuji, sorry to interrupt you. Sorry, your voice is little slower now.
Hare Krishna.
We are unable to hear Prabhuji.
You're able to
Yes,
hear?
yes, 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 Prabhuji.
Okay, okay. Yeah. So this keep happening with all of us every now and then when we feel कि ये हमारे लिए applicable नहीं है, all that is wrong. So our mind is always cheating us and making us do things uh, which know we shouldn't be doing. या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्या जागृति संयमी यस्याम जागृति भूतानि सा निशा पश्यतो मुनेः. Again, it's a metaphoric verse. It's activities, basically activities by devotees and karmis are will always be in contrast. Again, this is a metaphor. Nisha is a night. Now it's not literal sense, it's not in a literal sense that Krishna is talking about night and day, but Krishna is talking about what devotees do, what non-devotees do, or karmis do, and their purpose, their values are different. The purpose of goal of life is different. The purpose for which they live is different. A devotees live with a completely different value system and different purpose. A karmi or a sense non-devotee will have completely different value system and value goal of life, and they can be opposite. So if you want to be become a devotee, you should do things which are recommended by devotees, recommended for a devotee, and not do the other things, and not neither also associate with those who are doing those things. By association, you will develop a desire to do those things. So you should be careful by not doing it yourself and not associating too much with those who are doing these things. So that's how we should protect our bhakti. So bhakti, having once got bhakti, it's not easy. It's not perpetual. It is perpetual, but it's not that guaranteed that you will remain a devotee now for rest of your life. Unless जैसे कि एक बार एरोप्लेन ने टेक ऑफ कर लिया, तो अनलेस एरोप्लेन में इंजन चालू है और फ्यूल सप्लाई हो रहा है, एरोप्लेन विल रिमेन फ्लाइंग. बट द मोमेंट वन ऑफ दीज टू थिंग्स, मैकेनिकल बिगाड़ आ जाता है और फ्यूल सप्लाई खत्म हो जाता है, फ्यूल, द प्लेन विल कम ओनली कम डाउन, unless we are able to take that flight out of out of Gurutvakarshana area, out of gravitational force. But For that require a lot of energy, a lot of hard work. If we have done that, then we need not worry. But most of us have not done that, so we should be very careful at every stage to protect our bhakti, to do things which are to avoid doing things which are harmful, which can be dangerous potentially for our bhakti. So नहि कश्चित् क्षणमपि जातु जातु तिष्ठत्य कर्मकृत कार्यति यह अवश्यः कर्म सर्वे प्रकृति जैर्गुणे. In the third chapter, we will discuss some of these verses. In the third chapter, there is no escape from verse as long as body and soul exist together. So, Durlabha Manusha Janma. Manusha Janma is a soul inside Manusha body, male or female body, but inside a Manusha body is Manusha Janma. Now that is something, as long as we have a body, we will have to maintain the body. The body will require, there will be a bodily dharma. At a basic bodily level, there will be dharma. We'll have to provide our body with food, or we'll have to provide with our body with clothing. We'll have to provide our body with sufficient rest. For that, you should have a place to sleep. So at a bodily level, our activities cannot be given up. Here avashay, that helplessly we are doing it. Everyone is forced to act helplessly according to the qualities that he has acquired. And so here the gunon ka reference is critical to understand कि ये क्यों आता है. Now there's a beautiful verse in later in the Bhagavad Gita 13th chapter, that purusham prakrutisto hi bhunte prakriti jagunam karana guna sangosya sat asat yoni janmasu. That we are taking sat asat yoni janmasu means lower and higher species of life. We are taking birth repeatedly we are taking birth in lower and higher species of life. Why sat asat yoni janmasu happens? Because bhunte prakriti jagunan, because we are karana guna sangasya bhunte prakriti jagunan. That we have a desire, because we associate, we have a desire to enjoy matter. We'll just open this verse. Yeah. So sat asat yoni janmasu happens because karana guna sangosya, because we associate with gunas. And what are these gunas? These gunas are sattva raja tamo guna. And why we associate with these gunas? Because dhunte prakriti jaguna, because we have a desire to enjoy prakriti, we have enjoying and controlling mentality. So when we act in that enjoying and controlling mentality, we act under one of the three gunas. Either we act according to sattva guna, rajoguna, or tamoguna. For example, if you have desire to eat, then a sattvic person will eat something very simple, something, whatever resources he has, whatever he can afford, he will try to eat that. A rajasic person will, whatever money he has, he may try to get the best out of it. You know, he may extract, he may negotiate hard to get the best deal, and not just eat dal rice, but eat dal fry rice, some dal fry jeera rice. He will, whatever he will have, he will try to make the best out of it. That is what a rajasic person will do. A tamasic person will do, even if he don't have anything, he will steal from somebody, and he will try to enjoy using that money. So in a very simplistic way, we understand that the desire to eat is there with everyone, but a rajasic person, tamasic person, and a sattvic person will try to fulfill that desire in different ways. And why? And this is what gives us karma bandha. Whatever actions we perform will have reactions. That for every action, we are also producing a fruit of that action. And in order to enjoy or suffer the fruit, uh, everything will not get the result of everything, all our actions in this life. Um, so for that we have to take birth again. And karana guna sangosya. As long as we are working to act for the satisfaction of our own desires, for controlling and enjoying, we are acting on our own accord, and therefore we are producing fruits of our action. The moment we start acting as per Krishna's desire, we start acting as per Krishna's desire, we will stop producing fruit. Even though we will act, we will stop producing fruit. There will be no fruit that will come. And as a result, as a reward for our service to Krishna, Krishna can destroy our existing fruits also. So, as a soldier, when you fight and kill people on the border, you get rewarded. But the same soldier come home and in a fight with his neighbor, he shoots his neighbor, kills his neighbor, he get punished. Because in home, he's acting as per his own desire. He's not acting for behalf of his country. He's not acting for Krishna. He's acting on his own accord. Similarly, when we act according to our own desire, we are we are in dangerous zone. Even if we act according to Sattva Guna, we are supposed to pay price for it. It's not free. But if we act for Krishna, Krishna can arrange everything for free. So you don't have to waste your karmic currency for that. Plus, you get best of facilities. So, these gunas, reference to guna is very critical. And in this third chapter, repeatedly we will see this reference. Then, sixth verse uh, talks about Indriyarthan Vimudhatma Mithyacharah sa uchyate. Talks about something very significant. So there is internal consciousness, development of internal consciousness and external behavior. There is external and there is internal. We all have that. Externally, I may be dressed like a devotee, but internally, I may have all kind of wrong desires. Still, my mind is still not purified. It could very much be present. Uh, and so there is an internal consciousness and there is an external appearance, and these two can be different. If these two should be consistent to the extent possible, or at least there should be an effort to bring this as close as possible together. But if they are contrast and one is using one to get desires fulfilled, the using the external form to have my internal desires fulfilled, this is Krishna is calling them to be foolish people, vimudharthan and mithyachar, the pretender. They're very with these two adjectives, Krishna is criticizing these two people. The one who restrain the senses of action, but whose mind dwell on sense object, certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender. So unless there is a proper internal purification, um, one should not consider himself to be in the safe zone. So the process of devotional service is fully potent, and when followed sincerely, all these qualities will manifest in the mercy of Krishna. Which qualities? Um, detachment in the external behavior, or through dress. Detachment. What is a dress which demonstrate the detachment is saffron dress. So if I'm wearing saffron, I'm telling the world that I'm detached from the bodily desires, bodily consciousness. But if I have not purified myself properly, but if I'm making a show of my detachment, that is cheating. And Krishna is clearly criticizing this such attitude. So do your activities with all sincerity, emotions, and to the best of your abilities, knowing fully that we are only doing this, we are using skills and talents given by Krishna for taking care of work assigned to us by Krishna. For example, we can take care of our family members by knowing them to be part and parcel of Krishna. That Krishna has entrusted them with us, these souls with us, for given them under our care. So he has given this responsibility for their maintenance upon you. Hence, you must do it to the best of our ability and capacity without becoming lazy and irresponsible. So you have to work for, even if you have to work for 10 hours in business or work, to earn sufficient Lakshmi for taking care of your family. If you do it in the right consciousness, it can become devotional service. One doesn't have to give up our family to become a devotee. And just those who have given up their families doesn't mean they have become pure devotees. Either way, you can't cheat Krishna. यज्ञार्थात कर्मणोन्यत्र लोकोयम कर्म बंधनः तद अर्थम कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्त संग समाचारा. Another beautiful verse that we are supposed to directly work for Krishna. But if we cannot do that, at least offer your fruits of our work to Krishna. Our consciousness determines our result. Another 10, 11 are also very beautiful verses which I've skipped. 12 is another very nice verse. Ishtan Bogan Hivo Deva Dasyante Yajna Bhavitaha Terdatan Ye Prada Yebhyo Yo Bhunte Stena Eva Saha. Stena is a very important word in this verse. Stena means thief. Uh, Thief, certainly a thief. You are certainly a thief. Why is Krishna referring to the people who don't offer? Uh, this is Krishna is talking about eating. Now, eating is such an essential action. Now, all of us need to eat, and all of us we cannot survive without eating. We have to eat, and we have no capacity to produce even one grain without using resources from Krishna. So, whenever we are eating, as a matter of basic gratitude, we should thank Krishna for giving us food. We should thank Krishna for being so much loving and caring to be able to provide us with such a variety of food stuff. We have mangoes now. We had, a few months back, we had we had we had so much varieties of fruits. We have Peru, we have Sitafal, we have Kalingad now, and so many other beautiful fruits are coming up. So it's just not given food. Krishna has not just provided us food for survival, but he was given us a platter of fruits, platter of dry fruits, platter of good grains, and so much variety of vegetables, so much varieties. All of it put together, we can make so much varieties of food stuff. So, having given all of this by his loving, by he's given it out of love. If survival was only motive, he could have just given us fruits and roots, eat them and survive. But he's given us a platter of buffet. So many varieties of food stuff we can eat and offer it to Krishna and take it as prasad. Uh, it's just unlimited food stuff is available, and using different combination of this food stuff we can manufacture different varieties of dishes, which is like a never ending love affair with food. So Krishna is given us out of his love. And when somebody shows loving affection towards us, we should be grateful to that person. And by offering food back to Krishna, we show our gratitude towards Krishna. If we are for some reason not able to accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead, then at least we should offer this food stuff to the devatas who are working on behalf of Krishna. Um, Anybody who does not is not able to do both of these things is stealing. He's stealing. Simply he's taking foodstuff from who belongs to someone, who's created by someone, provided by someone, without their permission, without their approval, without showing even your gratitude towards them. If you're stealing it as if thinking as if this is your right to eat, no sir, you are mistaken. You are a thief. Krishna is referring to you as a thief. Now, all of us, no, unless until we came to Krishna consciousness, we were never taught that we should offer food. Most families are even today, don't offer food to Krishna. They just think of this food to be meant for their enjoyment, and they just eat it. Krishna is referring to you as thief. Prabhupada writes in the purport that a society who is full of thief and sinful people, how can they be happy? Because Krishna will talk about sin. No, muchante sarva kilbishay. That is the how it will prasad will help you get rid of all the sinful reactions is being spoken about in this verse. The devotee of the Lord is are released from all kind of sins because they eat food which is offered first to as a sacrifice. As sacrifice means Krishna, and others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat sin only. In this purport, Prabhupada write that a society of thief and sinful people, how such society can ever be happy. Another beautiful verse, Annat bhavati bhutani parjanyadanna sambhavaha yajnat bhavati parjanyo yajnah karma samudbhavaha. That this food stuff, how do you think they get manufactured? Annat bhavati bhutani, that all living bodies subsist on food grains which are produced from rains. Parjanyad anna sambhavaha. Rains are produced by यज्ञात भवति पर्जन्य. पर्जन्य कैसे होता है? यज्ञ से होता है. And यज्ञ कर्म समुद्भवः. यज्ञ कर्म समुद्भव. Karma, prescribed duties. Prescribed duties are where are they prescribed? Who has written? Those prescribed duties are written in Vedas, and Ved comes from directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is a cycle of sacrifice, and therefore, you are participating in this by eating food stuff, then you should also perform sacrifice. You should offer it. Our sacrifice has two meanings. One is yajna, जो हवन होता है हम मैरिजेस में या कोई फंक्शन में होता है, बड़ा हवन किया जाता है जिसमें फायर होता है, खीर डाला जाता है एंड आहुति डाली जाती है, मंत्रोच्चार किया जाता है. ये एक सैक्रिफाइस है. बट सैक्रिफाइस इन जनरल means something, giving up something which you can lawfully enjoy, which you can enjoy, but you are giving it up for some higher cause. So that is sacrifice. So sacrifice is not necessarily a yajna. Now yajna bhavati parjanya. Yajna is sacrifice, and that sacrifice. So performing nama sankirtan yajna is also sacrifice, and that such sacrifices leads to parjanya. We are completely dependent on rain. As far as rains are concerned, we are completely dependent on them, on Krishna. And Krishna is saying that Parjanya happens because of Yajna, and Yajna is performed as a as a prescribed duty. Duties are those are defined in the Vedas. Yajna Dama, Yajna Dana Tapa Karma, Pavanani Manishinaha. 18th chapter verse will teach us that these three activities one should never give up. Yajna, Dana, Tapa. These three activities one should never give up because they have potency to purify even the most pure person. Brahmaji performed tapasya. He was the first individual to be born in the creation, and he was directed by Lord personally himself to perform sacrifice, and that is what Brahmaji did, and he became Brahma. He was able to participate, become secondary creator, and using elements provided by Krishna, he could create different bodies. And then when those bodies got manifested, Krishna entered into those bodies, and simultaneously and living entities were created. So annad bhavati bhutani parjanyad anna sambhavaha. Yeah, this is a very great teaching for non-veg eaters, meat eaters. uh, Grain is what we are supposed to eat, which are produced by rains. Grains which are produced by rain is something that all the living entities should subsist on. They shouldn't subsist on each other. You should not necessarily, you don't have to kill other animals to survive and to eat basically. They will die their own death. You don't have to be worried about that. You will die your own death. But don't create sinful karma, horrible sinful karma in your lifetime, so that your escape from the cycle of birth and death becomes impossible practically. So give up meat eating. If anybody is engaged in this session and they're still eating meat, please give it up. This is very clear indication where Krishna is completely we're categorically saying that you should not be doing things like that. You should subsist on grains which are produced by rain. It's
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, you're on mute.
so Hare Krishna. So thank you so much, Adaji. So I'm just hoping that everyone has registered for the shloka contest. We will start our examination from 1st May onwards. We are hoping to start from 1st May onwards. And we will conduct this shloka contest on every weekend. We've been having few practice sessions. We'll see if need be, we can have few more practice sessions over weekend, over next week also, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday is 1st May. We'll start our exams from that day. I encourage all of you to register for that exam and start appearing for that exam. I'll give you time slots of 30-minute time slots as per your convenience. It will happen over weekends, morning, afternoon, and evening slots are created. I request everyone to make sure that you follow those slots. I'll just post the link. Um, I have posted the link for registration. So you need to register again. We previous registration was for practice. This registration is for giving you slots for exam, for assessment. Again, our focus will be on few aspects, not just one. And shloka pronunciation is going to be one of those aspects. Understanding, explaining meaning in our own words, showing how we understand that shloka, going to be another aspect. Third aspect is going to be how we practice, how we found such shlokas to be practically useful. That's going to be the third aspect. So this 2-3 aspect combination of these three will be the subject matter of our assessment, and we'll conduct it on Zoom. Will be camera on. It's going to be open book exam, so you need to worry about remembering everything. You should be able to keep your Bhagavad Gita in front of you while giving exam as well. But I still encourage everyone to participate wholeheartedly. Okay. Yes, Ashwini Mataji, you have a question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. As you said that is an open book competition, but should we by heart all the shlokas? Means I have applied for 25 shlokas, so should I by heart all those shlokas or?
It's always helpful, but even if you, but that's not going to be the test. That not cut marks, if at all. So do not worry about that. But it's always helpful to memorize all shlokas and at least keywords from each shloka.
Yes,
Vipadrita,
Prabhuji.
Shami,
Prabhuji, it should be serially means from Adhyay 1st to 6, or if I am
No,
remembering some
whatever.
shlokas.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
We'll be flexible. We'll
Okay.
be
Okay.
flexible.
Prabhuji.
So okay.
So we can
And
opt for more shlokas from means I have just taken only 2 shlokas from first adhyay. So it is okay. Is it okay? Prabhuji?
that's perfectly all right. Yes.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare
But
Krishna.
try and select at least one shloka from each of the 6 chapters, and then yeah, more shlokas as much as you want, which are your favorite shlokas. You should pick up from any chapter, any of those 6 chapters.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Any other questions regarding the contest? We have a couple of minutes we can spend on that. Yes, Mataji, Kanchan Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Babuji. Dandavat Pranam. I have a question regarding the point which you said earlier while explanation. So should I ask it now or should I wait for the
No, we are done with the class. We'll not be able to conclude all the chapters. I'll circulate this Word document by updating other comments,
Okay.
and but you can take a look at that. But you can ask the question if you have anything.
As for the guidance, you said that we should be single-minded toward the Krishna, but we are doing some or the other pujas, worships at home since tradition, since our elders. So we have a lot of deities. We do a lot of celebrate a lot of other fasting festivals. So how to tackle with that, and what to do of the deities which are already there in the home?
So typically, this is problem as we progress in Krishna consciousness. These problems comes up for everyone. All of us have gone through this, and at some stage, as long as the elders are present, they have influence, and we don't want to unnecessarily hurt them. So externally, we may continue as long as they are there, and their influence is there. As we can continue to have those perform, and but internally, we should have our consciousness very clear that we need not do demigod worship, and we can be remain fixed up in the worship of Krishna, and that way we can become a fixed up devotee of Krishna alone. Externally, it may appear that we are doing what we are doing, and but the moment we get opportunity, we should be able to move to a single-minded focus service to Krishna alone. And see, all other demigods also need not be disrespectful. It's not that they are that we need not be disrespectful towards them, because they are all serving Krishna. They are all engaged in service of Krishna. So we should definitely be respectful towards them. We should be praying to them and asking for loving devotional service towards Lord Krishna through them. So pray to them and ask for devotional service. Don't ask for our material benefits. That's what typically people will go to them for. But if you'll ask for devotional service to Krishna, they will also be very, very pleased, because they themselves are devoted to Krishna in their internally, even though they are doing externally services for Krishna. So they will also be pleased. Krishna will also be pleased. So that way, little diplomatically, we'll have to deal with these things. But as and when you get opportunity, you should be able to get rid of all other devatas, and you need not worship them per se. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Ashwini Mother, you have another question?
Sorry, Prabhuji, again I am disturbing. I was having one doubt which was supposed to ask last week, but I forgot. Prabhuji, we should distribute Gita. Actually, I have gifted three Gitas to my colleagues. I don't know they are reading properly or not. So, मतलब उसका दोष हमें लगेगा क्या कि वो अगर अच्छे से नहीं पढ़े, उन्होंने कुछ डिसरिस्पेक्ट किया? क्योंकि उसमें गीता में भी लिखा है कि एक दो लास्ट के श्लोकों में भगवान अर्जुन को बताते हैं कि ये जो कुछ है लास्ट के 18 अध्याय में, कि अब मेरे भक्तों को ही ये सब बताना, मतलब ये सबको मत बताना, गुह्य ज्ञान जो है। तो क्या हम गिफ्ट करके गीता कुछ गलत कर रहे हैं क्या? ऐसा
So when
थोड़ा सा।
we जैसा जैसे अ, जैसे गंगा जल है, गंगा जल अपवित्र नहीं हो सकता। जैसे
हाँ,
सूर्य किरण है, सूर्य has potency to purify anything and everything. So Surya can make
हम्म,
purify gutter water as well as river water, both.
yes, yes.
Similarly, Bhagavad Gita's potency is not in its book external form. The
Yes,
potency of
Prabhu.
Bhagavad Gita lies in its instructions. And if when we give it to people, people take it and don't read it, don't even remove the cover, does that becomes an insult to, or if there is any bad karma, even if they give it to a Ratiwala, does it give us a bad karma? It will not, because the moment we have given we have given it in good faith to other, our part is over. And what happens with them, with that person, it's with them. And per se, Bhagavad Gita, just like Ganga Jal cannot be impurified. We have no capacity to, uh, you know, we don't have any capacity to dilute the purity of Bhagavad Gita. It will always remain pure. But book form of Bhagavad Gita per se is not what Bhagavad Gita is all about. Bhagavad Gita is all about its instructions, its potency. And when you read and apply those instructions and the transformation that one experiences, Bhagavad Gita potency lies in that. It's not in that book. So one should not be overly worried about those aspects. We should give it with good faith, with whole heart, our own heart, and we should encourage them to read. If they read very nice, they may give it to Raddiwala and somebody else may pick it up and may become pure devotee. We have many such examples of that. That by mistake people got hold of Bhagavad Gita, which was not theirs, or some Prabhupada book, and they read it, they became interested, they became devotee. And the person who originally received it just became instrument in this. So it's possible that people may not really people may receive in all good faith, but may not be able to make good use of that gift. And so this lifetime may just go like that, and somebody else may become Krishna may use that person Bhagavad Gita to go to somebody else, and he may read and he may become devotee. So
Yes, Prabhuji.
we can't know what plan Krishna has, but on our part, we should try to distribute this knowledge to as many hands as possible, and should encourage them to read it as well.
Yes, Prabhuji. Trying my best. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Yes. Anything discussion about the slots you can do through messages. You can send me a direct message, and we can adjust the slots accordingly. All slots are open. I've not yet taken a look at the files. How many people have registered? I don't know yet. That's why I'm putting this list. I'll circulate this list again in the groups so that everybody can register and we can meet on the one-to-one discussion for Bhagavad Gita. So with this, let's I think conclude today's session. I'm asking my all volunteers whether Ravi Prabhuji, you have question?
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Dalot Pranam Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, one simple question. Uh, you were telling about single focus. Yeah. So last time what happened is that during Ekadashi, when I was in office, so I regularly go Ekadashi to temple. So what happened is that there was a temple was very far away, ISKCON temple. So I went for Hare Krishna temple near to my office. So I was just, you are also telling about single point focus, no? So I was just asking that question. You understood, no, Prabhu?
Yes, yes.
Hare Krishna temple I went actually. So it
Correct,
was
correct.
not ISKCON temple. Actually.
No, that's fine, Raji. So just like our bhakti should, so so there is an external action and there is an internal consciousness. Now, internal consciousness, now, for example, if I'm traveling abroad, then whatever temple I will go, I will go there and I will pray to Lord Krishna. Now, externally, I might be seen in going to some other, in Dubai, for example, there may not be Krishna temple everywhere available where I live. But if there is some temple, some worship happens, and I may just go there because at least I will be with devotional people who may not be Krishna devotee. But time, place, circumstances, according to that, I should be I should be adjusting my external behavior. So externally, I may act according to the time, place, circumstances. Internally, I should always continue to pray to Krishna. Internally, I should always pray to Krishna. I should always want to associate with one set of devotees only. It's our devotees. So while by visiting some other temple also, I am praying to Krishna. My internal consciousness does not change. I may respectfully offer obeisances to the deity, whoever that might be, but I'm praying to Krishna only. I'm praying to Krishna. Krishna, please give me humility. Please help me remain, I have gratitude towards everything that you have given me. Please keep me prideless. Please give me service attitude. Please protect me from anarthas. I'm praying to Krishna only. I'm not praying to anyone else. So internal prayers are to Krishna. Externally, I will do things according to the time, place, circumstances. Physically, if it is difficult, it is not possible for me to go to ISKCON temple, I may go to any Krishna temple and pray. I may go to even Shiva temple and pray to Krishna. I may pray to Lord Shiva to give me all this so that I can become a nice devotee of Lord Krishna. Shiva will be very happy. So that's how this internal consciousness and external behavior are two different things. As long as our internal consciousness is very clear, we need not the external behavior can be adjusted. It's not recommended, but it is adjustment according to the time, place, circumstances.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Swapnil Raji, you have a question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Prabhuji, my question is again to the extension what I've been explaining about paying obeisances and remembering and praying Lord Sri Krishna. What exactly is the difference between, or is there any difference between remembrance of uh, and praying, Prabhuji? Remembrance can be still there, and our internal consciousness could be our consciousness could be only towards Sri Krishna, whereas remembrance can still be there for other other deities, other forms of deities. So, could you please help us in coming out of this dilemma, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So remembrance and praying means asking for things. Is that what your question is?
Remembrance, for example, when we are seeing a lot of deities, so we remember them in the mind, but only praying to Lord Sri Krishna. So I'm talking about in that sense, Prabhuji.
Uh, so as if you will have those deities in your home, you will see them, you will remember them, and there will be some pastime associated with those deities as well. So the remembrance is unavoidable. So that's okay. We see around people, and you will remember something. When you go to office, you are not always associated with the family. So when you go outside home, you see the watchman, building watchman, your neighbors, your friends, your colleagues in office. Now none of them are your office people, but so you are seeing them, and you would have had some interactions with them, the shopkeeper, the doodh wala, this wala, that wala. So you would have had multiple interactions with them, and you will have some remembrance of that. But you don't pray to them, you don't go to them asking for anything. You deal with them only as necessary for your closest hours of need, when you for your intimate association. You're not looking up to them for that. For that, you are coming back to your own family members. Similarly, when it comes to the when it comes to that, these are the prayers, uh, asking for humility, asking for pridelessness, asking for gratitude, attitude of gratitude, asking for service attitude. This is out of love, and you love only one person, and there you're this is sign of surrender. When you ask for service attitude, you are expressing your attitude of surrender. How much you want to you want to surrender to one person. You can't be surrendered to 10 people. So this surrender happens only once at one place. This is where it should happen. And but otherwise, you can have interactions, and linked to those interactions, you can have some remembrance everywhere, other places as well.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Glorifying Lord is also prayer. Yes. Correct. So glorification of Lord is also prayer. I mean, Bhagavad Gita has so many verses which glorify Krishna, where Krishna's beautiful qualities are. Bhagavatam is filled with glorification of Lord. It's very dear to Lord Himself. So that's also prayer. That's also help us love our attraction towards Krishna increases and help us, come closer to Krishna, increase our service attitude towards Krishna. Okay. So we have no other questions. We'll conclude today's session. I'm still checking with volunteers what their mood, what their sentiment is about continuing with the practice sessions over next 3 days before we embark on the contest starting 1st May. So we'll let you know all about the practice sessions to be conducted over next 3 days. If possible, we'll have smaller group practice sessions, and if not, then we'll directly meet on 1st May onwards for our japa session, for our contest, Bhagavad Gita contest. So wish you all the best. I'll try and complete this file today. So we have given some practical tips for all 6 chapters, critical verses. I'll add some verses as well, which are very, which a lot of devotees suggested. And like that, I'll try and complete this file and share it with you. We'll give you a good reading exercise, give you a little bit more insights behind the words of behind the translation. We may not always have time to read the entire purport, but this can give us a good overview of that as well, and can be hopefully provide us with insights on practical applicability of these Bhagavad Gita verses. So that way, to make it more relatable to our own life. So with this, let's conclude today's session. Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna to everyone. Hare Krishna to everyone.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji,
Dandavad.
Dandavat